Like, that's really, really weird. Anyway, we're going to get started and we're going to look at just these Verdant games. This first one was really good. first one was great. I really like our draft as well. One of the things with Fearless is that we used to prep a lot more drafts like later on in the series, and nowadays we don't prep so much the later drafts, and I don't know if that's a mistake or not. I still think, I said this when we looked at Mark's interview with Tabe, I think if you can have a coach who everyone just says, okay, you tell us what to do and we do it, that's the draft, then I think it means actually in Fearless you have a big advantage, because actually what's happening is as the variables change, the coach during the game can just prep loads of drafts themselves and just do it. Whereas with a team like ours and most teams, especially in Europe, where the players need to have a big impact on what's picked, you can't really do that. And so you have to just sort of, we were coming into the draft prep meetings in between games saying like, okay, this is what we have as prep. Blah, 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 blah. We can do this, and this. This is strong now. All those kind of things. But the problem is that what happens if the players are like, no, I really don't like that. You can't do the prep thing. And so you don't actually spend that much time prepping. Whereas I think in the best case, you have a coach who everyone really trusts with the draft, and they are the draft expert, and it's all like primarily on them. And in between the games, they just say, okay, this is what we're doing. And they've spent the entire game before not looking at anything to do with gameplay because they know there's another coach who can talk about the gameplay. They've just looked at the draft and that's it. And I think that's a really big advantage in Fearless. But anyway, this first game was very prepped. We wanted to get rid of the Gwen and Rumble and Talia because we wanted to use them later on in the series, which is obviously something you didn't ever have to worry about before. We weren't particularly worried about all of these picks, but we wanted to make sure they were going to be up later on. The Talia was a bit more like our luxury ban kind of thing. That one could have changed for something else. This was about how many power picks were left open. We wanted there to be a case where it was just like Aurora and Wukong were the like biggest picks. Obviously Xin and Ori are still also fine. So it's not just like super S tier picks, you know, it's not Gwen or Yunara or Azir. So this is the situation that we ended up with. I like it a lot. We knew if we got rid of these two that Sion actually on 2-3 was going to be really, really strong for us for the series. SLT just loves bruisers. He's very good at them, but he loves them. And so we thought that there wasn't that big a way to punish. And you'll see it here. Aurora gets a bit ahead in lane, I think, and then even it just can't do anything. Then this Varus, I think Varus was nerfed way too much on the patch. Last patch, we would have banned Varus for sure, but also this patch was a bit weird. I can't remember exactly what the Brawn ban was. I think actually it was because we wanted to have Xayah and something else. We wanted to have Xayah and something else available. When they ban Alistar, we wanted to get rid of the Sivir. Yeah, it was going to be Sivir and Jinx as the trade for us here. And then as soon as they banned the Alistar, we were saying, okay, right, we'll get rid of the Sivir and we can do Jinx Xayah is what we thought it was going to be. I think would have been better. I think Senna also would have been good for them here, maybe, with this like bigger front line. But for me, this draft for them, I think the drafts in the later games of the series were very much better than ours. But I think here, this game for me seems so hard to win for Verdant. I think you need to be an insanely good team. You have to win based on the fact that your top lane and your bot lane should stomp lane. And you have to win the whole game against the most bog standard, simple, easy comp ever. So I really like this draft from us. I think it's very, very strong, and I think that's why one of the reasons why we won. The thing that's a bit how would I say it, unfortunate about all of this is people who've been following our scrims would know that we were trying to sort of slow things down and have everyone a lot more focused on objectives, and they were in this game, and then it just fell apart completely, which I can talk more about later, but just completely fell apart. So this is game one. I don't, obviously, normally when I do these reviews, I'm partly thinking like, okay, for next week, what are we going to take forward, all those kind of things. Don't need to do that anymore. So I'm just going to kind of watch it, I think, and I can talk about stuff because if they were going to take the Nico in this game, we like weren't so worried about. Well, firstly, it's not something he played that much, as far as I remember, and I can't remember. There was, I think it was literally just like, okay, with this draft, they need to just be so far ahead in lane. Like they have no way to really kill Sion and Wukong. It is on hit Varus here, but his life should just be miserable. I can't remember why it was Braun ban and not Nico ban. Oh, because maybe we're going to blind like Nautilus or something. Maybe that's the reason. And then instead we went Zyra Khan. Can't remember actually. Good question. Because I don't think Braum is necessarily good for them here. They warded this spot in every single game of their playoffs. So we wanted to stop that from happening, which we did. We didn't get any picks from it, unfortunately, but we wanted to stop that. So always useful when you can have someone. We had Scotty doing scouting for us. Always useful when you can have something like that. Like, it's not that every game you need to come in with something like that, thinking about it as a coach or as someone who might, you know, if you're setting up a structure, you don't need to come into every game with a very specific thing from scouting. But if there is a specific thing, you need to have found it. If that makes sense, if you can see the difference there. And so the fact that they warded every single time in the same spot over whatever it was, 8 games or something. If we didn't spot that, that's a mistake in scouting. But most teams won't have something like that, where they're that kind of clear and predictable. So they get pushed in bot and pushed in top because of the lanes that they picked. And like if you're playing against, I don't know, Genji or whatever, like they can win this draft, but I think this is really hard to play. I would be very nervous if we were playing this draft as well. So Sion getting bullied in early as always, but somehow not down in CS, which is a bit weird. Not as always in this matchup, I mean, as always in this matchup. I think this first swap is really bad. Well, not really bad, but like we lose a lot. Then I think there's one of the later swaps where they just completely grief it, and that gets us not only back into the game, but into a really, really good spot. And like I said, like by 15 minutes, they need to be, I would say, substantially ahead for me to be worried. They kind of should be, but they also need to be. So now we swap. Any swaps are good for us because Sion just needs less resources. So even if we fuck up some of the resources in the swap, it's good. But they do have the TP, obviously, to match it. So we lose this whole wave based on just the fact that it's Varus Nico. And also we always struggled with laning in bot lane. So that's where the gold lead is from. It's just those CS. But we did pick up on Wukong though, so at least we got the XP. The other thing as well that I think is actually quite interesting about this swap, now that I'm looking at it, is that for them, I think you need to stack dragons. And so the temptation is to swap because you're winning both side lanes, right? So when the enemy swaps, you're like, well, we have to match them because we're winning both side lanes. But that does also mean, I mean, yeah, they do actually get the... maybe you just say they get the dragon anyway. I was going to say, like, let's say you had a massively winning bot lane and top lane was more even. A lot of teams swap because the enemy swaps, and it's like, okay, let's say top was even, but okay, it's Camille, let's say, right? Camille's not going to push Sion around in the same way that Aurora does, but also needs resources. And so if you swap, it's very tempting for the team that doesn't have the Sion to also swap, but then you give up the fact that you can stack dragons. So it's quite an interesting thing. But here they have push in bot anyway, so... So we path towards the top side. We do have push in top now because firstly later on, but also we had that bouncing wave. We knew the enemy was on dragon, I think, here. So we want to crash this in and start walking down. This, I think, from SLT is bad, and we do this as well. Like, lots of ERL players do this. You're pushing... and that's allowing your team to take the dragon. But then you've got to be a bit more careful with your health pool, I think. And this part is obviously, like, if you get a free trade, this is really good. But, like, you have to be really cautious about both people being low, and now your push doesn't really matter so much. So both people, like, and Chachi said this in the game, I think. It's like both are super low on bot lane. So now, because they're both low, this bot push doesn't matter anywhere near as much. It still matters. But imagine if this is a full health Nico, and Sion still can't come, even if he's higher health, if the wave is, like, here. So now she comes, and we get to clean up a wave bot lane, while also playing this fight. Which is kind of risky, though. Like, Nico's coming down too. I don't think we needed to fight for this. We had this real problem where it seemed like the only thing we thought about objectives was we either take them or we don't take them. So because we got the steal, this is good. But I would say you should approach these situations not thinking you should steal. Okay, Wukong Q, maybe you can say, right, we have a 55, 60% chance of getting this. So maybe it's okay. But what I would much rather is instead we say, okay, they're taking Dragon. Is there something we can do on the other side? Maybe no, maybe there's not. But, like, can we threaten these guys on the dive in any way? With Ori pushing up? Nah, probably not. Because we don't get 6 off this camp, right? Don't think we get 6 off this. But we did, and you'll see it later on in the series, have this, and in the last series, like, we have this thing of, like, the objective, when the objective is up, it's the only thing. And that, I think, is not great. So we got the dragon, though, and that slows the game down again, which is good for us. And again, they're ahead, but still wouldn't be worried at this stage, especially as we have the dragon. We want to push up and send our bot lane to mid to play for the grubs. We're just really late on everything, man, like always. I mean, again, it's hard because enemy has push, right? It's hard to be the active team when enemy has push everywhere. But let's look at how this actually happened. They're coming through mid. Always thought players not being clear on the value of objectives versus CS versus camps. Yeah. Yeah, I think because we constantly were, like, stressing people about objectives as well, it does over prioritize them. And that's something that I think is really important, is as a coach, you have to be aware of, like, the meta point that you're making. Meta as in not the most effective tactic available, but as in the point that goes across all your points. If you constantly talk about objectives, it doesn't matter if you're saying sometimes we don't need to play for this objective, we can actually cross-map it. The overall point you're making is to play more for objectives. Or is to focus more on objectives. And so I think we actually over-focus on objectives a lot as this team. I should say, I need to get used to talking in the past tense. We over-focused a lot. But it's so weird being done in August, by the way. I haven't had that for a long time. We play on this mid-wave. We're just, like, late contesting everything, but this Xin just completely... I think both of these situations should be better for them. I think we kind of get away with both of them. The dragon, I think if they do the dragon a little bit slower, it's just worse for us. Because when Aurora's coming down as well. This one, like, Aurora's not there, but Ori's not there either. Okay, it's because we're going to get Rakan 6 as well, if I remember. Yeah. So this is quite a good fight for us, I think. But it shouldn't be this good. They just kind of completely ditch him. And now, like, Galio's going in while everyone else is going out. And this is on hit Varus, so the fact that he's standing over the wall and can throw 1Q is 1Q with 25 extra AD. You know, like, doesn't do anywhere near as much as it would if he was... he's still maxing it, at least. but like not hitting ever. So I think, like I say, we're kind of lucky by the fact that this is how they play, and now people are coming back. Like, yeah. Let's look at the swap. I didn't really plan to go this deep into all of these. I didn't want to spend more time in this series than I needed to, but... So here's a minute and a bit for the dragon. We crashed this wave. Just swaps were good for us, and so we thought we would swap all the time. But if we're swapping, we should play on bot side. So I don't think necessarily we need to swap, but swap and then play for grubs, you're right, is weird. 7 minutes, we swap and we play for grubs. I mean, we swap, but at 8 minutes, we're not playing for grubs. So we put resources bot side. So they have more numbers on mid. They have more numbers on this area completely, obviously, because we're sending everyone onto the other side of the map. And like, if they're a little bit quicker at it, we just would lose everything. As a performance coach, how would you look at this and then make changes for a hypothetical coach? You mean the meta point stuff that I was talking about? I think, to be honest, the biggest and most useful thing is literally just being aware of it. Because we trick ourselves as coaches that the stuff we're saying is the most important thing, not the overall message or anything like that. So even just being aware of it is already a good step of how I would fix it. So looking back over stuff, making sure that we're very clear about the things that we're saying as we're saying them. So we've got one grub. No, we've got two grubs even. I mean, I think both of these we kind of got away with. And now the game is in a really, really good spot when they get this kill as well. Unfortunately, there's not all that much, I think, more to look at in this game, which is a shame because all the rest of the other games I think were bad. From when we fight the grubs in game 2, it was kind of doomed. At least from the feeling. Yeah, so now this top lane, like, they denied the Aurora, but because we like Aurora as well, obviously. Nah, I mean, I can look again at like how this is happening, but can we not hold this next thing of prior? Want a base with 700 gold? Maybe it's better too. So Rakan can TP back, but we give up this prio to finish nothing, not finish an item. So now we can't contest through mid, whereas we could have held this mid prio and then TP'd. But it's okay. This, we start it as the wave's crashing. I never like that. Like, unless you've got a real reason to. Because mid we didn't have prior. Like if you TP mid, you just have to wait around. If you TP bot, he can actually walk around and do stuff. We had to contest river there through bot lane because of the late recall on AD. So we like lost prior on that wave. So if Rakan TP's here, he just waits. Yeah, I mean, we talked about this in the game. We just need to pick a target and go. Like, I think this fight should be good for us. Or we can even... Or we can even crash this wave and be ready to TP. But I think this is okay. Because this 4v4 should be good for us. I also think that they give up plate. No, no, no. You can get prior from either side of the objective. You need a way to access the river, right? Like if we look at it in more detail if you want. So like I say, I think this recall is a bit weird from Hiddo. If Hiddo doesn't recall, you should TP back mid because mid is a better way to control the dragon. But when he's recalling here, an enemy is definitely first on the next wave. If you teleport back to mid lane, you just do nothing as Rakan. You wait. You wait until Wukong finishes his camps, Xayah comes, and then you can play on not this wave because it'll already be gone, but the next wave. Whereas if you teleport bot lane, like you have this wave to play on. So if you're thinking about controlling objectives, it's really important to think like you need an actual wave that you're going to control the river from. Well, not need. It's best. So because there's already a wave here, this means because we're TPing back here and because Wukong is here, it doesn't matter who else is in the area. We know that we can match numbers on this in this situation because there's going to be 3 and 3. So Zweiru can walk further forward, so we can come and contest and get into the river from here. If you teleport back to mid, you'd still be waiting there. You'd still have to stand still. You'd have to stand. Like if you're teleporting back to mid, you shouldn't teleport because you can't do anything until Xayah gets there anyway. So you should just run. Because now you'd be here and the wave is already gone. So like you can't control this area when this wave is not here. Does that make sense? Wukong should play with support and take objective when they... But the objective wasn't up, so like how are we going to control the river? You need to have a wave to control the river. But I think a mistake that we do now is that now we're playing the objective where I think we should play these waves first. So we play the mid wave. They put loads of people on the bot wave, so we can't control it. And now, to be honest, at this stage, I'd already be thinking, like, can we just cross map them? Like, what happens now if we just hard push on mid and then go towards that side? But how? Oh, wait, you don't TP so that you save your thing and play smite? Is that what you mean? Okay, right. I thought you meant you TP so that you can play smite on dragon. I mean, if you want, but like I would rather play for the fight than for the steal. Because we're stronger, I think, in the fight. So like if you're playing 2 smites, firstly you give up having heal. But then secondly as well, because you haven't controlled the area early, you then have less of a... But where do you put the smite? Because you can't change it in the fight. So like if you're going to fight and then win the fight and then take the dragon, you don't need the extra change. But then you'd be sitting on smite. but I think I see where you're coming from. But I prefer this. I think you teleport to the wave that we actually have, so that you can be back out and control the river much better. Which means that when they come somewhere, firstly, actually, like I think I would probably rather even hold this a bit more aggressively. Like look at enemy vision here. Like they literally just walk in. I think that should be hard. It should be difficult for them to walk in, but we're already like hitting the dragon and stuff. I think we can actually hold this a little bit more aggressively. We also, they fully commit to bot side, which should instantly be a trigger point in our minds to just play on the cross map as well. And then now that we do play the fight instead of playing on the other side of the map, because we still had this wave, like everyone just run mid and hit. Like we have a full mid wave. I think we should all just run mid and hit. Because as soon as they commit 5 people here, then if this whole area of the map is ours, we take more here than they would. We would take this and we would go aggressively towards the top side of the map so that we can then play on this wave as well. And if Aurora TP's back, she dies, and she can't, and so they have to like fully retake control, and I think it's actually just fine. Because we also got the first Drake as well. But as soon as an enemy fully commits to playing an objective on the other side, not on mid, so we're talking about here, but playing on mid or bot lane, then that should be a trigger thing to just say like, okay, we can cross map, because you can always get loads on the cross map if enemy full commits to one side. I mean, they have Galio TP and stuff, so it's not like completely set or anything. And as we said, I think the fight also is fine. We just play the fight better. We just need to commit on someone. We just go on Nika, and I think she dies. But I said at 15 minutes, they need to be like quite far ahead, in my opinion, with these comps. And obviously there's loads of stuff we can, I'm sure, do better in these little small like lull states, but I'm not going to go into that now. And I think we get one big fight, and then this game is kind of hard for them. We lose our support item. We're trying to play for the Herald. Next wave's most important. So again, they're going to contest through side. We go through mid, but they're also spending more time like with camps up, right? Which is why we've got a 20 CS lead in the jungle as well. So now, with this wave proxied as well. Hey Max, thanks for the subscription. So this is just a much better engage. Like this is exactly what we want to do. What we said after. But I'm just trying to look at how the whole thing is set up, because they come this way, and this is the reverse of the problem we were talking about before, as far as I can tell. So they come this side to play like kind of through top lane, but instead like the wave is gone. So like they can't play here. And so they have to just like force their way through, and it works because we're doing camps, and so they can, but we are getting the camps. And then they lost mid wave, and now by the time they're on mid, there's no mid wave as well. And so now they're in this situation where they'd have to like run from one side to the other, and this engage happens partly because they have to come in here without a wave, even though it's just like seconds apart. And then it's good follow up. And Aurora comes forward. Aurora does miss everything. That could have gone differently, obviously, this fight. Every fight can. But now it's very hard with a 3k lead and no like dragon threat. I can't decide if I want to like skip through this, because now I think it's like very hard for them to do anything. But also I want to make sure I don't want to watch the other games. Okay, so we're playing on that side, they're playing on bot lane. Finally actually do a cross map, but I don't even think we needed to on this one. We want to be here. I think like here now we can head towards bot side. but we wanted to make sure. And again, we're committing resources. I think we just needed to put way more value on waves so much of the time. Like the fight here is for these waves. And there's 3 of them and 2 of us, sure. But like the main fight is for the wave. And I don't like us going straight to the objective. Then we can't head bot lane probably still, so we just play on this tower instead. I mean, maybe we can, but like probably not. Like now you can, but any coaching hard truth to sell? I actually have one that I was talking about recently. Coaches in league. This is the thing: is that like it works, and I can understand why people do it. But I think when you, I think that when we grow up a bit, it won't work. It won't keep working. I think coaches in league need to drop the ego a bit. I think that a hard truth is that when you're talking about a year, I would say the biggest thing is like getting the right players. When you're talking about a split, you've got to chill out. So people being like, oh, it's prep diff and all this kind of stuff, like it just makes me cringe every time we see it. Like so many of the things that make you win have nothing to do with you as a coach. It's like how much you play or how yeah, so that's if there is a hard truth. I was talking about that recently with someone. I think it's funny, but like obviously as a coach, when you're going into an organization, if they're saying, right, you're going to be with us for one split, like you don't want to say, well, I'm going to have like barely any impact. But like I had barely any impact on this NORD team. I probably should have had more. I was away for 1 week as well, so I'd have had 1 week more of impact. But we had like no scrims, so like we had no time together. So I didn't have very much impact. And if we won, there are people who would be in my position and act like they had a lot of impact. And that I think is something that, again, I understand why. It's just like a scam, basically. So we're playing on 2 lanes. They were playing on just the bot lane. We get back in time to stop this. And also to stop that, because we can just rush straight for it. Varus gets alone. I mean, this game is... Okay, I will stop this, because we've done already 44 minutes on just one game, so... Okay. Right. Game 2. This draft, I think it works in isolation. It doesn't work for our team, and so I don't like it. And this was the thing that is a bit of a problem, like I talked about. We also have the added complication of having the streams to balance, and so we don't want to talk straight away about the draft, and we're not all there, and we're 4 minutes delayed, and you know, all this kind of thing. Like when you're in person, this is a bit easier, but even now, I think I'm not sure what we should have done differently other than draft better. But yeah, I'm not sure what the solution is, but this is where it starts to get tough, because we didn't have enough good answers of what we were going to do when they just first picked Talia. And so we take Pantheonari, and I think Pantheonari is good, but it's not necessarily good for us. Why can't I take ADC with mid? No, I think if you ignore the nameplates, this is good. This here is good. Because you deny them from taking... If they take Panthelia, I think that's tough. And you take your mid... You can take your mid choice, because I don't think there's anything particularly that we want to make sure we secure until like Kai'Sa. And then if you take Kai'Sa there, then they get an AD reply as well. I think that's worse. So I think this is good, but I think it's not good for us. Yeah, I think that's true. Coaching's main job is to keep the team on the same page. Yeah. But I would say a big part of a coach's job is not possible in the way that things are set up in LoL, like doing stuff for like a split or even a year, or doing it not in person, or all these kind of things, you know. So I think it's yeah. Zwire is insanely good on Azir. We have a I think we were 11-0 on Azir in scrims. We kept banning it because we would just win every time on it, so we stopped. We didn't want any more practice on it. But they would first pick it. I think we should have traded OPs a lot more in this series because that's my preferred way of playing on red side, and I'll get into that a little bit more later on as well. Actually, I can talk about it now because trading full OPs, so give them Azir and we play Talia into it, for example, or Ziggs into it, I think is much better because even if, I'm not saying it does, but even if it gives you a quote unquote worse draft, it's better for our players because we have so little practice time that when we start to get to game like 3 and 4, and even here, well, here we had our options, but this was the thing that we went with. We could have gone for stuff that we just play more, but we didn't. But trading like Rumble and stuff, like, okay, so they get Talia, but we get Rumble, I would have been much more for, and we could have gone Rumble, and then we could have gone like Vi or something on 3. But instead, we just tried to get rid of all the OPs, and that then puts them in this situation where if they first pick Pantheon, it's fine, we take Talia. But when they first pick Talia, we don't really play very well with Pantheon, I don't think. I don't think Yankos was very good at it with this team, and we were not very good at playing with it as well, for sure. And so that's hard. Then the other big mistake is this. I think this is really silly. I think we did the exact same thing against LR. We talked about the fact that we wouldn't do it, but still we get scared in the game situations and we act like there's only one thing that we could take in AD. And Vizicachi's mega chill and is just like, okay, fine, kind of thing. So you have to take one of these two picks here, I think. I would say you just take Renekton. If you take Renekton here, again, on paper, I think this is so hard. If you just take the first 3, again, I still think we would have been in a tough spot because I don't think if this is... I was about to... Rene. If this is Rene and you just take the first 3 picks here, I think for most teams, they would rather take this side, for sure. But for us, maybe it might have been different. But still, it's because Chachi was like, yeah, I have multiple things into it. I would take Renekton here, I would take Gnar, but I have multiple things into it. And it was also because Hiddo, I think, needs more confidence in games. And he actually would, I think, be fine on dropping. But in the moment, it's not. Yeah, I mean, Vizicachi says over and over again that he can play into Rumble and he likes playing into Rumble. And he was saying, like, he would just write me messages like, I just completely smashed Kana on Rumble, by the way, and he's the best. He's the best top in the server by miles. But we didn't want to play into Rumble, and we didn't want to play into Azir, and we didn't want to play into Gwen, and we didn't want to play into Talia Pantheon, and we didn't want to play into Yunara, but luckily they got rid of Yunara. I think we wanted to do the Azir Yunara trade, actually, if I remember. And then we didn't think about what happens if they ban 1, and then we said, okay, we'll just ban the Azir, because it's good for them to ban 1. But what you want to have on red side is you want to have 3 OP things up. So if we ban Pantheon here, and they go Azir, and we go Talia, I still think it would be better, because it's something that we're much more familiar open. Yeah, exactly. There's what I was explaining as you typed, the exact same thing. I think that's still better for us, even though it's worse, I think, on paper. But I think we should also be trying to leave 3 OP things up. So they ban Poppy, so already things are going to be weird. We ban Gwen, I like that. We still won it later on in the series. I think that's fine. They ban Yunara, and now you say, okay, right, there's now 1, 2, 3 OP things for both teams. So I would leave them all up already. So I would ban something wacky, or already banned Pantheon because we said we can play it as well, but I think we are not that good at it. We're better at Azir and we're better at Rumble. So I would ban Pantheon here, let's say. And then you're in a situation where, okay, there's Azir, maybe not even Pantheon. No, here you ban something, a target ban. Yeah, Rumble Gwen trade is a thing, but we didn't want to do that in this game, which I actually understand a lot more because we would play something different into Rumble and we would want to play the Gwen ourselves. So I would target ban here, as in something that doesn't really affect us, like fucking Senna or whatever you want. Just to not ban an OP thing. And then I would say they probably ban one of the OPs, otherwise we get 2 and they get 1. So we get Talia, Rumble, and Vi on 3, for example. And they get Azir. Sure, they get Azir, but we get the others. Or Rel on 3, and then like Nocturne or Vi or Jarvan on 4. I think that would be better. This is quite a deep dive, but who cares? But instead, we were like, this is the problem: is that like you said on the YouTube, like if no laner wants to give their opponent the OP thing, then you get stuck. And this is where I think it's good to just say like, okay, fine, we have to trade OPs, and we didn't. And so this draft, like I said, I actually think if you just change the third pick into Renekton, this draft is good. I think it's so hard for them to play.
Picks, right?
But I don't think it's good for us. And we're the ones playing it, unfortunately. So not something that we can do. So, let's see. Unlosable and unwinnable at the same time. I think that's fair.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Wait, sorry, I just had to reply to a message at the same time just because it's a bit... how do I make it so this stays on while I'm looking at the message? Oh, fuck it.
Minions have spawned.
Okay, same thing again. We wanted to look at the level 1. We knew this area would be big contest. So if we're stronger, we want to send resources here. They get a ward on the other side, which we know.
Minions have spawned.
This game was a bit of a disaster. This one. And the problem is that this side just tilted us way too much. We had a new way of playing that relied a lot on Jankos taking a lot of control, and he couldn't. I think both from everyone else, but also from him too, especially after his Grubs fight. We get a flash, but we show. Top lane matchup. I mean, we just, yeah, like I said, we just needed to pick a better matchup for top lane. And this as well, like... Oh, whoa. Hello? Everything just went black. This gank, like, people have a tendency to think, like, this is free. But if we need to cover anything top lane, we should recall, you know? So, like, the gank is not free. It's opportunity cost of not being on the wave before. And so, like, we need to be top lane as soon as possible. But instead we come here, and now we recall, and now we're, like, we'd already be, like, coming out ahead of this wave, you know? Like, if we're here instead, then I actually think this dive is hard. Because we should be close enough that, like, a flash stun is, like, really dangerous on Trundle. But instead we ganked bot and got Bard Flash. But so if you look at the event in isolation, but, like, you show and you also aren't there on time. And so, like, it's communication, it's knowing the matchup. Like, if you are diveable, this has to be played differently. Great, I couldn't get Twit actually, so I'm just gonna be right back. I'll let it play so you can suffer. Okay. Sorry, Discord again. I like... Okay. Okay. Why can I not make this the thing that it tabs to? Stream beats. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, this was the disaster, like I said, and I think this actually also had a disastrous impact on other things too. This freeze is a little bit awkward. That's not... Because it's in an awkward state. So it's hard for us to push it in, but also hard for us to do anything about it. So Kaiser's here and low. Bard's going to be here too. Corki stays. I think we don't want to reset here. I don't know why we reset. Okay, the fucking Corki thing is broken. I can't believe that that's still in the game, by the way, so I'm going to get rid of the FX, which will make things a bit weird, but anyway. I don't know why we're basing. We don't have teleport and we're basing on top lane. I don't think this Grubs is, like, fightable. We also already have the dragon. So, like, don't base on bot. Stay. Play to bot side rather than playing to the top side. But we have to just throw our face into the wall for every single objective. Always. So now they're faster. Their Corki's going to come quicker. We are pushed through mid, but they are pushing top. Kai'Sa can't join. So we just chase at them. Then they come round again. Kai'Sa's not here. Is this fight good for us? They have all sums. We have all sums except from Smite. Like both teams are there for like combat summoners. So maybe it's okay. They don't. Well, neither team has 6 on support. Neither team has like completed items. We just get completely split off by this. So yeah. I still don't like the fact that we just try and fight everything always. Like, I think we need to know... I think that they were just fully leaving. Like, if we're here now, like, I think we should just go for it. Top lane is fine, isn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But this one's going to die. But, like, it's not going to, like, hard push and we're going to lose loads of stuff. So, like, we can just secure this. And then if we're here as 5, we need to know how we're fighting this. Because here, just comboing in, for example, I think actually is good. Maybe you're just too squishy with that aftershock. But like when they're all 3 together as a group, if we're going to win this fight, if we're here because we're going to win this fight, then we have to fight it. And Ari can get there, sure. Or now, just like flash and combo. Oh, okay, yeah, this is what I tried. So shit happens. We missed the combo as well. Actually, maybe it would have even been fine, like, if we just hit this combo. Like, if we just comboed this Ambessa in the Camille ult, I think she might just die. She just gets charmed as well. Wait, the charm missed on the stun target? Too? How is she not getting stunned? I mean, charmed there, by the way, guys. Am I blind? Like, we didn't layer the CC well. She would probably live anyway, but like... how does she not get charmed? Okay, so this, firstly, should be a combo. Then we wait. Then we... ult. Then we... boom. Okay, stunned. Why is Treats not using spellbook? Last time, wait. You can't say it's the same situation. Last time you were saying he shouldn't change to TP. I think if he has the swap and can swap to TP, I think again I would say the same. You swap to TP and you TP to mid wave to play on this wave. So that you're already there, but you're in time with Pantheon anyway, so you can chase them away. Or swap from Flash to Exhaust, or from whatever, you know, like something that you can use at the beginning of a fight for just another combat summoner. But if we're playing this for the fight, or Ghost, swap to Ghost, and then you just Ghost now. For example, that's what I think would be best. But I still don't know why this person doesn't get charmed. Can someone explain this to me? Because, like, okay, he probably wouldn't die. He has flash still. But So this is a complete disaster, not only for this game but for the whole series. But I think we just fucked it up. Like, okay, we missed the combo, we missed the smite. I mean the charm somehow, and we also should have just been there with Kaiser, I think. And now from here as well, like it's just an absolute horror because they have this big wave and we can't be there to defend it. Well, okay, if you're saving the spell book, then you can't take smite either, right? Because then you'd been cooldown anyway. I mean, I think so much of this series was based on that one Grubs fight.
Two sides to every issue. My side and the wrong side. The test of good manners is patience.
It's weird with all the effects. We are on game 2, and we have just had the disaster moment that I think actually kind of lost us the series. Not the game, but the series. Because you can look at our like comms in game 1 compared to like, especially now in game 2 and onwards. And now they're just, I mean, they're just so far ahead. They're getting pushed everywhere, and we can't do the things that we need to do. Because also, like, the Ambassador is so far ahead, we can't play on side. We're going to just get pushed in on both the other lanes. Yeah, a bit mental. Well, I mean, let's be honest, practice diff, really. But, yeah, mental diff as well. Because we wanted to change to have our comms to be a bit different and have Jankos leading the game. But from here, he became super silent, and so other people start talking. And so it's both. Yeah, other people probably shouldn't start talking. But something that I should have said to him is, like, he also needs to lead the game. Like, we don't have any practice. The big problem is that, like, we tried to play in a different way. We had 0 scrims as a 5. We had 1 scrim with a sub in between the games where we tried to play in a new way. So, like, it was always going to be tough. But when you're, like, supposed to be leading the game, you can't just wait for everyone else to be quiet. But yeah, everyone else also should have listened to him more. But we missed the combo there as well. I think this was just a bad game from Treats as well. Yeah, but it happens, and we can't let it ruin the whole series. But it did. I think the drafts weren't that good for us because we have so few games. We have so few games on weird stuff. And so I'd much rather be trading OPs. And then, like, this game from here is just sort of silent. But, I mean, the game is kind of unwinnable. But then in the next game was kind of... I thought it would bounce back. But the next game was also the same. And then we just started doing all the bad habits. But also, I don't think we're not a good team. I don't... Like, we made each other worse this split. And that was a problem. So this game, I think, is big mechanics diff from that fight as well. There's a Soki game where someone posted a Discord link in select. I don't know. Oh, right, okay. I didn't know what you meant for a second. Yeah, I mean, the fact that we've constantly felt and constantly feel like we have to fight for every objective, even though we're late, we'll just run to it, I think is a bit silly. Now we get caught going too far. I'm not going to spend much time on this because just like the last one, like we're 5k down and they have a much easier comp to play because they can just do this. I think it's hard. We didn't flash the Bardo or ult the Bardo. We just died. We have to force shit, so this is good to just like randomly force stuff, even though it's just like you just need more chaos, right? So we trap someone who can't get over. We missed the charm again, this time on someone who's teleporting. I mean, we missed 2 combos and 2 charms, like in important situations. I think Pantheon is really strong. I think it's stronger the better you are as well as a team. And so for us, it wasn't that strong. But I think like in top level play, it's really strong. That's frustrating. I think he gets clipped by one of the petals. So the idea is he ults here so that he just has a little bit more survivability. But then, what actually stuns? The edge of one of the petals? Pebbles or petals? Like, this looks like it's not going to hit any of the things to me, so I can understand why you would combo here. She's charmed. There's no one else to stun. But, okay. Look. This is not what loses us the game. Obviously, it loses us the series. But this hits Alistar. But this fucking charm doesn't hit Ambessa. Let me show it to you. That charm doesn't hit Ambessa, but that rock does hit Alistar. We were robbed. Riot. Yeah. But again, like, when you even after these picks, it's still really hard, right? Like, you have to try some shit. So this is no problem. The other thing you could do, obviously, is just play for the you just play for the Atcan. But if this combo lands and you can get more, then that's really good. But instead it doesn't. Then we also get Bard ulted, which was always going to happen to slow everything down. We get stunned, we get comboed. Like, we'll die. Tori played really well as well this whole series. Okay, and that was game 2. Then this one. Yeah, no one saw anything. Good. What do I think about this? So this whole like trading all the OPs is easier. I mean, if everyone's banning OPs, sorry, it is easier on blue side. There are 4 still left, as far as I'm concerned, in a game like this, which is these 3 and Gwen. I would say if we ban none, we force them to make a difficult decision, at least in the first 2 bans. So we'd have like Gwen and Rumble up, for example. And then we can decide, okay, we don't want to play against the Rumble, so we want to take Rumble away. Cassante, I think, is a weird one. It threatens the Rumble more, but like I think we could have done that later on. But anyway, we thought Jarvan was the best jungler left. I do think this is strong, especially in the current like game state. Actually, I don't mind this. I quite like this draft. We even said like they're going to take Blitzcrank on 5, but we can still play the Milio. I think it's probably easier and better for us. Again, better for treats to just play something that's not an enchanter. I think, for example, Ornn and I don't know why we didn't go Ornn here as well. I think the Cho'Gath is okay, but like more engage. I mean, by this point, actually, they have double melee as well. That's fine. But if you leave these 2 up, then we just take one of these. and we ban, like, we could just ban Renekton, for example, because we knew he likes it. And that's like his last thing. So if we ban just like Renekton and we leave Leona and Nautilus up, they take one, we take one, and we take a tank top lane. But also we can do this, just take Ornn and Nautilus or Leona, and I think it's better. Because with this, you're always threatening the Blitzcrank with the Maokai. And even though this is good into Maokai, it's harder into Blitz. But I think this draft is fine. Like this draft shouldn't be super losing or anything like that, I think.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Seconds until minions spawn.
Okay. Yeah, I think we have weird opinions about jungles the whole season, but it is what it is. Oh wait, I can get sound back. No, wrong thing. Oh, we can have music. Do you guys play with music? I never play with music, but apparently it's better now.
Minions have spawned.
Okay. So, what happened in this one? I think this one was closer, no? This one should have been good and then we threw it Atakan or something? Or was that a different one? Have I not changed the thing? Okay. Pressure wave in bot. Recall is very dodgy. Then we teleport down for the swap. We can just hold this freeze. We don't, but we could. Why don't we hold this? Why don't we just freeze this when we have mid push and Jarvan's coming up towards the top side? Mid is in a really good spot. But now they have push inside. And free time for Blitzcrank. Like, this is the problem, is that like mid was doing really well in isolation and then we didn't get there, but also he didn't manage to turn it into anything. So this is what always happens with Yone, like with D-Shield and Second Wind and that kind of shit. You feel like you're in a really good spot and then you just stay there eventually and you get low on resources as well. And then when someone comes, it's if you have prio, every wave should be frozen. If you wouldn't freeze. You can't have prio and freeze. Enemy also flashes and we don't flash. Maybe you just die anyway because Blitzcrank will flash. So it's probably better. Yeah, there's nowhere safe here. So. But it's just the timing. Like as soon as this is crashing in here, like now we need to do something about this mid wave. I mean, we needed to anyway. I think this was the best time to recall. You come here and just recall there, but I don't know what he's got items wise. Probably not much. I mean, Yanko's seemed tilted after this Grubs fight to me in game 2. And that was a big problem. And then mid dies on a really obvious timer. Teleports back. We crash a wave in top. Now we wanted to swap to take this, but did they just take it? Now we swap to this side, but it's Renekton 6, so we just swapped into Renekton 6. Oh my god, this is such a fucking disaster, this series, actually. I've forgotten quite how bad it was. Because now we walk in to... We don't have a numbers advantage, and we walk into a level 6 Renekton. No, we don't. Forget that. We flash into a level 6 Renekton, do we? No, we just EQ. This is never working like this. Yeah, I mean, literally from that game 2 dragon fight, like it was just tilted after that. And this was the problem because we just decided that he was going to be a crucial part of how we played the game, and now like what the fuck. Like, okay, that doesn't damage him, but I think it doesn't kill him anyway, no? Like, it doesn't do 700 damage. Now we don't have that. We're recalling, grubs are spawning. And we don't have prio on either of the waves for grubs. These are the waves for grubs. But we still are walking in. Why are we still walking in here? I just don't fucking understand. Like, luckily they miss everything. Thank God. Like, why are we doing this? Like, how is this fight ever winnable? We don't have prio on either of the lanes that we need to play for it. They're a much stronger team to fight right now. We don't have Jarvan ult. They have Renekton ult. We have Milio without 6. Like, and we know for sure. The only thing, like, okay, Sivir is going bot lane, but Sivir doesn't even need to be going, like, she does need to be going bot lane. But we don't know that she's bot lane. And we're just, like, walking in and they miss everything, so we're lucky. Like, Maokai should just... if they knew we were here, by the way, if I'm them, I'm like, there's no way they can test this. so maybe that's why. Like, I would just Maokai ult this now. Like, just Maokai ult now. Oh my goodness gracious me. This should have gone so much worse. So in the first game, I think the dragon fight should be worse for us, and I think the grubs fight should probably be worse for us, but I still think we would win that game. In the second game, ironically, the grubs fight should be better if we don't just choke with everything. And in this game, Why don't they hook this? Like, hook him now. Hook him now. He was stunned. No, there's no reason to contest this. There's no chance we're stealing, like, and then they mess everything up and we get one. And we're like, good job. there's just no reason. Like, okay, we fucked up our ult on mid. Already, that's no fight. But also the fact that we're not going to have prio on either lane because we reset. We're just not... We're supposed to be, like, being organized and playing around objectives now, and we're just not organized around them at all. So now we're just playing for them, but not... I mean, it's less, like, maybe. I mean, there is still stress for these players in a series like this because they're also expected to win. But you would hope that if the team is set up a bit better, this shouldn't be a game like the difference between Jankos in a high pressure game and Jankos in a lower pressure game should be, if anything, he should be better in a high pressure game, to be honest, because he just doesn't care that much about scrims. Like, compared to World's Finals, it's not that big a game. If you know what I mean. Yeah. But this, like, why at any point now are we thinking about anything other than cross-mapping? Even before you Jarvanot, why are we thinking about anything other than cross-mapping? Does Grubs win the game here? I mean, it's annoying if Fiona has Grubs. Sure, but we should all die for this Grubs, or at least one person should die for Grubs. They should just take them anyway, and one person should die. And we also don't play on the cross map, because like now, if we played hard on this wave, these two waves... Wait, what's happened to mid-wave's already gone? Yeah, okay. So mid-wave's gone. Now on these two waves, if we can play on these, then it's good. Okay. Enemy takes mid-wave. Okay, fine. We play on these two waves now. We'd still be in a better spot. Like, just keep clearing down towards this side. Push this wave. Make sure that Milio is here to push this wave deep. And then we play on this wave in bot lane. But we wasted all that time just hoping that they miss everything, and they did. And even then, it's still bad for us. I didn't think this would make me this this annoyed. I think also just recall as well. Now we're weak siding Jinx. Why don't they punish this Jinx? Why is this Jinx not dead? Okay, right. Malco went to top side. But from their point of view, like, from their point of view, surely it's like, oh my god, the Jinx is mega inting. Okay, they don't know Milio's base, I guess. And now we're just basing one by one. We're trying to make a play on top lane while Dragon is spawning, but then I bet we're going to try and contest Dragon. Okay, good. I'm not trying to contest Dragon. We are still weak siding our Jinx, which is a bit of a tragedy, but it's okay because all they get from it is the Dragon. Crush this wave in. We want to reset, but we reset really slowly. And so we... luckily, we only get interrupted once. But we do lose a plate in mid. 2 plates in mid. Still, they have 2 dragons. We have a can-do attitude. I was going to say gold lead, but we don't. They have 2 dragons, despite the fact that this is how the first bit of the game has gone. That's my sunny side. They have 2 dragons, but they should have 2 dragons and a gold lead. Huzzah. I'm fasting today, so I'm not eating, but it means I'm drinking loads and loads of water, and so I already need the toilet again. It's a tragedy. I'll watch this play and then I'll go. So, we're not back on mid-wave. And what? We're trying to threaten Renekton when we have no stun? Like, some of these calls, I think, are just terrible. So now we give up this full mid-wave. And we obviously can't do this. Okay. But then they do fuck this up, if I remember. Yeah, they just completely split up. Like, they should just walk back the same way, and then this play is not possible. They also shouldn't overcommit as well. Like, we overcommit, then they overcommit. We teleport down. We get the 1 kill. Renekton flashes in because he's angry. Then we get the 2nd kill. But we did give up mid-wave fully, so they get that tower. So now 120, this next dragon, and we have Herald for it. We trade towers, and we have Herald. They got boots from that, which is a bit annoying. Sivir is just going to be able to perma push in mid lane. How do we play for this dragon? We put Syndra top because she has TP. Enemy top doesn't have TP. You won your mute. I still didn't see what that actually was. I'm sorry, I didn't look at your reply. But congratulations on winning your mute. Or mooting your mute, or whatever. So we put Herald down. Okay, I'm going to let you guys watch this. I'm going to quickly go to the toilet because I don't know what exactly we did here. I can't remember. Rewatch it. What did we do? We put Herald down on what? He just hit the tower and that's it? There's so much building work happening in Lyon at the moment, so I sympathize. We clear 1 wave, we come and clear some vision. Yone fogs across. Sivir can just step up on these waves. Clear stuff. We put this down without a wave. We just put Herald down. Okay, Yon's gone top, so is this a signal to do Herald? But there's no wave, so... Blitzcrank Colts to get rid of the shields. And they just trade it for a tower. We have to though because we've got 2, so this is fine. This game is still actually in a decent state. Despite the fact that we, I think, played really poorly. If we won this game, I think we would win the series, but... Because we lost to this as well, like it was just mega tilt town. Now we have our Cho'Gath on weak side. We're sort of trying to play towards the Syndra, but we fully give up this mid-wave. Sivir gets the mid-wave really high. Luckily, Chachi just smurfs this. We just way overcommit resources to this, I think. I think these guys can do this as 2. I don't think we need 4 people. Play on this Renekton. But luckily their 4v1 play doesn't work. I say 4 because Sivir is pushing this, which is why they can do this play. Now we drop another tower to try and play Atakan. But this is the part that was so mega weird for me. Is like... We're doing Atakan when everyone is alive, enemy has TP, gold is even. And then I think not only do we do it once, we try and do it like we do it, we reset it, we do it, reset it, we do it, reset it. Okay, so this one play gets the TP. Renekton dies. Now what do we do? Jinx is half HP. We come and lose another wave. We lose this wave as well. We lose top wave as well. We lose waves in all 3 lanes. It's okay. My point is like the fact that we kept doing this. And we don't like this wave in top lane we let die. This wave in mid lane dies. This wave in bot lane dies while we're doing it. And then we don't do it. So like now, if we're going base, like there's one person dead. Like, can we at least clear this top wave? We should clear this top wave, clear this mid wave, and be sending someone back for that wave. I don't like it when it's like that was our one thing that we did with all the time that we had. We started it, we got 1 kill and teleport, and then they got all the waves. But maybe it's fine. Just remember it tilting me. I think we just tried it again and again. Isn't that why I was? Why I remember it in a worse way than it was? Or maybe I'm getting the series mixed up. Maybe it was the last series. No, okay, right. We start it again. So, mid is neutral. Top is pushed for them. Right? Yeah. We lose mid wave again. We just keep losing mid wave, and luckily we can get it here. But we don't have top wave. Now we go to kill top wave. We start it straight away and we teleport. Trying to use our teleport advantage. But Atakan does more damage than one person, and it takes a long time to kill it. Someone is always going to get hooked. Even if we have melee ult, like someone is going to get hooked. Yeah. I mean, look, they're just substantially ahead in CS in all the like laners. This melee ult doesn't hit Cho'Gath, I think, but I'm not sure if it matters. Because we were saying before this, I think that if Cho'Gath gets hit, we can still... I don't know why we're standing on the same side as Blitzcrank, rather than we could just stand on the other side of Blitzcrank. I mean, we try and ult in and combo out, but we get silenced, right? Like at this stage, we can still just go for it, can't we? We have Smite. We don't have Feast. Why do we use Feast just before this fight? Now Renekton's here anyway. Like, this is the part that was annoying me. Like, you've got a dragon coming up in a minute. This is the stage where I don't know why we're doing it. The first one, okay. We pulled Renekton away from a side lane with teleport. We also killed him. He messed up. Don't think they needed to do that. But, like, we clear this top wave. And then we give up this... Like, fucking Sivir is collecting mid waves here. Bot wave is not in a good spot for this. Mid wave is in a terrible spot for this. Top, like... This felt like we just had no ideas. And you've got Dragon coming up now. Just play instead hard for this next mid wave and then play the Dragon. Yeah, I mean, our shot caller was just silent. Yeah. And so Treat started talking more because Jankos was talking less. And so Jankos got more annoyed that Treats was talking more and so talked less. So it just goes like round and round and round. And we also didn't have Treats on engage, which is, I think, something that we kind of needed. And that engage is absolute garbage. And then that gets them the dragon as well. Like this is like, that throws the game, right? Like it wasn't in a great spot. I think it was still fine. It was still fairly even. Don't know who wins this late game, actually. I would say we do, but only because I think, like, unless you hit a great hook, like, Milio's just going to be able to provide, like, Milio with Sivir, with Sivir. Whichever side has Milio of this bot lane is probably going to do a lot more in a team fight, right? Because not Jinx is better than Sivir late game, but Jinx plus Milio is better than Sivir plus Blitzcrank. But this now gives them third dragon, the gold lead, the mental lead for sure. I think the game was actually in a really good spot now I think about it, because we also have fucking Cho'Gath and they have Renekton and they have a AP Maokai. So it doesn't take very long before like any of them die. Jinx gets one kill. Like we just fuck, man. The more I think about it, the more hey Nico. The more I think about it, the more I like the game state now. Like, we've got a minute on Dragon. Just do the Dragon. If we fight them at the Dragon, I think this is fine. Oh, it's so much worse than I thought it was. This whole series. And we haven't even got to the last game. I'm getting sad rewatching it. We were so bad. The other reason I'm getting sad is that I was thinking, okay, like, are Verdant a good team? Do they just, like, outplay us? Like, are they going to actually be able to challenge LR? I would be shocked if the finalists not 3-0, because, like, we just played so badly. This is the part I didn't see, I think, because the game was done so quick after this. Okay, how have they got so much control? Because always. We were focusing there for the Atakan that we needed to give them. This mid wave is super important. See if it gets it higher than us. Is now the time to be invading raptors? So we can't fight on this mid wave because we know our jungler is not there. He's running towards top side. So we give full control of bot because, and they see him. Like, what is this? Is the hope that Renekton pushes this wave to our tier 2 tower while they do nothing? And even then, isn't he actually in a, he can buy a lot of time, 1v2? Like, what are we doing? And so we lose all control of this. Then we run to mid, see that we're on a ward, and still get hooked by Blitzcrank. But Baus would have pushed that on someone like Cho'Gath. But by the way, even if Renekton is here and we kill him, it's probably not good. This probably actually is a good death if Baus is pushing this. Because also he wouldn't be playing it doing Renekton. He'd be doing it on like Cho'Gath or something. He one-shots this wave. We eventually kill him and we lose both these towers. Like, this is... I don't know what to say. I thought we were tilted in the comms, but this is just... I mean, this is just fucking miserable. I mean, I think this fight is still winnable if we just played it better. Imagine if we had Ornn as well, by the way. I think Ornn is better, although he's 4-0 to be fair, actually. Complain. I felt so bad for Sharchi this split. Like, also, don't run. Like, just fight. Fuck it. Well, at least it didn't flash. What? So they got. What did he do actually? He ulted. It didn't flash. Okay. He tries to combo out and say flash. Now he gets stunned. Okay, he's too far away from the wall now. To be fair. He could flash now, but he would die probably. But like, when you know Blitzcrank is right near you, don't stand still clearing a ward probably. Or like put your E down so that when the hook comes through, like cue it already. He's just completely like, also just this random walking this way, just like, as soon as he starts walking this way, if he gets seen by any vision, we lose both these towers probably. Yeah, I mean autopilot, but autopilot in a solo queue game that you don't even care about. Oof. Right. Game 4. All our drafts are wacky, I think, because we have wacky opinions about jungle strength. We thought Jarvan in the last game was like super OP. We thought Nocturne in this game now has like no counters. I think this Vi ban should have been a Braum ban, because I think they're more likely to go Sedge anyway. And then we wanted to now ban Braum and Poppy and Senna. And we didn't. And so they get Poppy into Rel when we pick Rel mega early. And I didn't like that. Game 5 draft. Yeah, like these two are diving in. We've already used the. I mean, as far as I remember, we played this game kind of terribly. But even so, I think the draft is very tough. Again, we dropped rather than taking stuff. Like, I think we can just take Annie here. And we just have this good core of like Annie, Rel, Nocturne. I don't think Nocturne is first pickable.
There it is, the button. Yeah, like you kind of.
Okay. It was all a toughie. Okay.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Was this one a close one, or did we just get smashed? Oh no, we were just like equal and then mega outscaling us. And this Nocturne does absolutely nothing. How long have we been streaming? This has been a draining 2 hours, guys. I'm not gonna lie. Do you think this was the worst? I think the last series was not good as well. But I think it was probably better. Probably maybe better. The team was worse we're playing against. I don't think we've been a good team since I went to EWC and came back. But also, we've done like 3 or 4 scrims. In the last month, we did like, what, 4 scrims or something? Or 5? And like we went 0-5 against Big, then we went like 0-5 against a terrible team as well. And then we just about beat, no offense, a not a very good team in NLC. And then we had a big thing about how we wanted to do things differently, and we wanted to still like, we wanted to be making finals and we wanted to be challenging at finals and stuff like that. And then we were like, oh yeah, but we can't scrim this weekend, and we also can't scrim on Tuesday because we're taking a break. And then on Monday, Chacha was really ill, so he went to the doctor. That shit happens. We had one scrim that was a bit better, but actually, to be honest, we were still half-assing the scrim. I found out afterwards. That's what I fucking hate. I hate afterwards finding out that actually if you watch the players' streams, there were people just like permanently talking to the chat. Yeah, the reason I signed up again is because we were going to scrim more, and we scrimmed less. Because I don't like just losing for fun. And so this bullshit, I'm sorry, it's bullshit. This is a rant. If you ever see people being like, oh, we gave it our all this split, they are not telling the truth. We did not give it half. So I don't like the fact that, like, I don't like saying that if we didn't do it. Like, we didn't give it our half this split. So I'm not going to say that we gave it our all. I mean, LR have been scrimming, like playing together since November last year, you know. So like they can play less scrims, and they'll look a little bit worse, but they'll always be able to get it back together. They'll look a little bit worse because they're a little bit unsure about the patch, because the patch is different, but they're still playing together and they still know how they want to play. In previous splits, we played less, but we also actually had a clearer way to play because Freddie only wanted to play a certain, or only could play a certain way, where we just played mega weak side mid lane and then we just play up for team fights. So it was a bit clearer, whereas now it's less clear. And also Treats and Yankos didn't agree on how the game works, and they also, but then like there was never time to talk about it as 3 of us. So it was just me and Treats talking, and then Yankos being like, this is not good. So also LR are playing still way more scrims than us, even though they had played since November. And like this gank, like this sums up the whole thing, I think, for me. This we shouldn't be giving. Now we just give loads of information. We lose Scuttle. This big wave crashes in. And we just, for fun. Yeah, it's just all mega tilted. And they get a roam mid because of that as well. I think this roster should have been the best roster that we had. And I think we just mega fucked it. The 1 week that was full time, I wasn't here, and then afterwards, I don't know, everyone just decided that we weren't going to be full time again. Like they played 4 scrims while I was away in EWC, and that was it. I mean, we made his job so easy, but he did play the series really well. I don't like, and I know players don't like, when other players are like, oh, their jungler just smurfed or whatever. Like, because Chachi could say that, right? The last 2 games he's been dove and our jungler's done nothing. I mean, this time at least we're getting dragon. But he doesn't, and he shouldn't. But people do it, especially if they're annoyed at... Yeah, I mean, this is the Yorick that we took instead of taking Annie into Victor. Or Xerath into Victor. Xerath into Victor that early was not very good. I mean, hopefully we weren't anywhere near that toxic. And at least the players said that for the most part they enjoy playing together. But yeah, definitely see the comparison. I mean, especially because like the goal, at least at the beginning, was to beat LR. Like you can't think you can scrim a little and beat Lost Returns. They're a fucking good team. Like, so I just don't know. We also really shouldn't have lost the group, so everything would be quite different. But still. The other thing, right, is that even with the amount of time we played, I think in that best of 3 we had against Lost Returns, like, we could well have won if we had changed some things in the draft. And then everything would be very different. I still think if we play like this, we'd just get 3-0'd in the final. But, like, it's a very different situation. I mean, I think Yorick in the 1-2-3 doesn't fit the others, so that I think is a bit of a problem. I think the Annie, you take Annie and then you take something else that follows up with the dive in top lane. So even like Ornn or something follows up with the dive, right? Because I think Victor and Smolder have like the freest game of their lives. There's not enough dive threat, but there's also not enough range threat. This was just mega weird. I don't know why we just literally just give them back all the lead. Just E over the wall. Flash. Just E over the wall. We ghosted, but didn't E. Or was there no E? Oh, we E'd forward to clear this wave? In which case you can't walk there. Walking this way, then walking this way, and then not flashing at any point. Like, flash now. I mean, I think from the draft point of view, this game is already kind of doomed. We knew they were on this dragon, right? We literally saw them. Trying to take one more wave. I mean, we can't play Lissandra, though. Like, you can't pull out something that we've, like, fully never done any practice in, and it's, I don't know if it's a good spot in the meta or that kind of thing. And then from here, it's just done. Like, when they're this far ahead, like, it's done. Like, we fight back a bit, but it gets the game to close to equal, and then, like I said, Victor and Smolder are just freest position in their lives. Like, I think if you take Yorick and you're taking Nocturne, honestly take like fucking Ziggs or something, and then you have enough range threat maybe. But I think it would be better to have Annie and to have they ban Annie, right? Because we took the Yorick. Take Annie and then take any kind of dive. Yeah, I mean, Nocturne was the first pick. That's why I'm saying, like, Annie and Rel and stuff. But already, like, from the talking and the draft, like, it was already kind of done. And then, like, here, like, I don't know what the fuck we're doing. It's not even very close. He doesn't flash the fear, and it's still not very close. But also, like, just back out. Like, at this point, surely now we know, right, okay, fuck. Now just flash away. He's got 400 HP. That was a play, indeed. Yeah, it's toast, isn't it? Like, it's fucking, these two are fucking, like, this is the freest Victor Smolder game I've seen in my life. Even if we were playing better. Jesus, this series is so much worse than I remember it being. I thought it was bad, but I still thought genuinely like we would win. Yeah, I think in draft we needed someone to step up and just be like, guys. Maybe I should have, even though I wasn't leading the draft, but like, because obviously Fevy's very new, it shouldn't have been him. So yeah, so I should have said like, guys, someone needs to say like, I'm gonna play into this OP thing, or they need to say, I'm gonna fucking win if you give me this pick. Like, I don't care what we trade for it. If we get a Zir, we're winning, or something like that. Because I don't think we needed to ban the Gwen, and therefore we would definitely get one of the OP picks and say, fuck it, they get one, we get one. I'm going to win the game if we have this, and I don't care if they have this other thing. And just to drop to these, like... And if you're dropping, then I think you have to just draft full for the con. This... We kill Smolder, and then we still lose, right? Like, this was when it was definitely doomed. Okay, we get an engage almost on Smolder. We interrupt the Poppy ult. We get back onto Smolder. And then just Aatrox comes in and just, like, mops up our backline. Yeah. Okay. Okay. It's a disaster. And from here, I think it's unwinnable. I mean, it was maybe unwinnable from a long time ago. I would swap. Yeah, that's why I was saying, like, we dropped mid. So you have to swap the Yorick, because they would ban Yorick, probably. You can't get Yorick and also swap mid. Because they banned the things that we wanted to play in mid, which was Zerath or... Annie. Okay. Right. I'm going to call it there. That was worse than I remember it. And not good. First game was good, but I think their draft is not very good. I think it's way too much they have to win lane. And it was good. Second game, we drafted stuff that we are not very good at, but we also messed up with this third pick, I think, where we should just take the Renekton. It denies them Renekton, and it's also a really strong matchup. They can't just blind Ambessa into us. Chachi is good on Renekton as well. We just don't play it that much. But also, I think already we had to just play with the OPs and not think that we could just get rid of all of them. Then in game 3, I think we're winning there. We just... That Atakan thing was weird. I think... Well, we were just tilted, basically. I just think there was no reason to just keep smashing our head against Atakan when, like, I think we were in a good spot. We had Cho'Gath instead of Renekton, so a much easier front to back. They had Blitzcrank, we had Milio. Like, we just killed the first target and we would be fine. Then, I mean, we didn't even... we had worse hands in this series as well. Then in game 4, like, it's done before game 4 even starts. The draft is horrible. The team is mega tilted. Everything we wanted to do, we're not doing. It was a disaster. Okay. Well, that's a pleasant summary. So, I'm going to call it there. Tomorrow, I will be doing streams for the rest of the week. I'm not sure about future. I would hope in solo queue to have a better draft than this, to be quite honest. But anyway, because we just, like, solo queue, someone would say, I don't care, I'm playing this into this, or, like, whatever. Yeah, I'm going to do some variety streams. I'm still not exactly sure what I'm going to do. I might do some chess. I might do some Supervive. I might do some Deadlock. Games that I've played very little of, but are interesting. Yeah, and then I think for the rest of the week, yeah, exactly. For the rest of the week, we're doing something like that. I'm not sure how long each of the streams will be. I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but if you're in the Discord, I'll keep updating about it. I probably won't tweet about the rest of them because it's... You literally, Sol, I know what you're doing. You're building up suggestions of Teemo climb in the chat. So you wanted to ask other people first. You're like, oh, any suggestions from the chat? And then if no one says anything, you're like, well, maybe we could do a climb with Teemo. Maybe I can do a climb with Teemo. I'll see how I do Phil and I play Teemo no matter where it is. And then I'll see how high elo we get. Right. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.